Hello everyone, my name is Mark Meyer and today's video is how to process an entire estate. I've bought many estates. It is a big ordeal for people that have never been in the business of secondhand. I've been reselling for over 15 years now, and this is something that a lot of people ask me for, so I've made an entire video condensed down to help you. The number one way that someone gets an estate, where they have to work it or it's been offered to them, is generally through inheritance, through a friend, a family member, a business partner, or a downsizing. The family or the grandparents moving into a smaller place and they have all this stuff in their life. And as Americans, we have a ton of items. So I'm gonna go right from the top and work from a value in the most typical estates I see here in the Northeast. So typically when we have an estate that you've inherited, we're gonna work the largest items first. You're gonna have the house. It's the largest asset inside an estate, and it's most commonly distributed between the family, or if it'll be sold. Forgive me in my ugly car. Okay. The largest parts of a estate are generally gonna be your real estate, your vehicles, equipment that might be tractors, lawn equipment, for certain people out in the country that might be skid loaders or payloaders. These are generally your largest. The next category that we have to work through in processing is gonna be your valuables. That can be heirlooms and collections. And when I mean collections, what I'm talking about is, if you have a father like mine, he'll have a tool collection. He may have a tractor collection. If it's a grandmother, she may have a purse collection, a shoe collection. You get my point. There's gonna be collections involved in a estate of some kind. Everyone collects something. Jewelry, classic magazines, it could have been theater items. Some people are really heavy collectors. There might be a tremendous amount of value in collections. The saying in my industry is, everyone collects something. If you don't collect anything, you collect Benjamins. The next things we have here, you're gonna have everything from furniture, media, you're gonna have tools, toolboxes, purses, clothes, kitchen items. I'm going through the whole gambit because if you've never processed an estate before, I promise you there's a lot more there than you think that there is. Big spaces hide a lot of items, especially over 40 to 50 years of accumulation. People accumulate a lot of stuff. One of the reasons people call me into estates is not because they're not familiar with the stuff, it's because the quantity they're just not used to. They do not have the resources, the knowledge, or most often, the time to work through an entire estate. These are very typically what the estate is comprised of. Now, this is the layout for an estate. So what do we do with it? Assessment and appraisal. Maybe I spelt it wrong. We're letting it go. Assessment and appraisal is super important because that's where we get our fairness from. There's gonna be a couple ways to move at this point. Once we've assessed what we're working with, there are associations of appraisers. I'm sure the average person is aware that home appraisals happen, but there are appraisers that specialize in this category. These are third-party, neutral professionals that will come in and value these items. And why do we do that? Because we want fairness. The next step that I recommend, family first. I cannot stress this enough. I've negotiated 20 estate deals. I've seen a lot of families break up at the end of an estate. I've seen a lot of ugly stories that would make great drama books. Watching this video today, I want to steer you clear of drama. I want to steer you clear to the fairness that I exhibit and the integrity that I really want to put out in the world. You have your assessment, you have your appraisal. It will value all this stuff because most of where the complications arise is around will and inheritance. When it comes to these items, there should be an attorney who has the family will that will help dictate where does this stuff go and to whom. Once the will has been executed, there may be many things that are not inside the will that you may have to deal with or process. If someone passes away and they don't have a will in place, this is the playbook I'm gonna give to you, and I'm gonna help you through it today. Something I need to say, this is not legal advice. This is an assumption that there's no will in place and you're in charge. the first people that should be offered the items in the estate is the family. So the appraisal period is really about fairness, so that we know that no one's getting too much or too little, and that there's fairness distributed between all. Now that the family has chosen what they'd like, perhaps Tommy wants the house, and the appraiser comes in and values the house, and Tommy can buy out his brothers or sisters, or perhaps he just inherited it. If you want to sell it, you may go through a realtor. When it comes to these items, the family's only going to take a portion of this, and most families, a very small portion. At the end of it, you're still going to have a house full of stuff for most people. A lot of this type of stuff goes to the grandkids. A lot of times the grandkids don't even want it. This is what happens. After the family has right of refusal, we're going down. I would recommend, if you have valuables, that you talk to an auctioneer. Auctioneers get the highest money for your valuables because you're gonna put it in front of a bunch of people and they're gonna compete to buy it. If you have art in your family, that's valuable. If you have jewelry, if you have valuables, dad's collections, maybe collected signs or antiques, you're gonna want that stuff to be put in front of a lot of people. You don't want that going to a yard sale. Trust me, you don't. You're gonna offer it up to an auctioneer. If I had an estate and I didn't have time or the resources to sell it all, I would have an auctioneer come in and I would ask them what their commission is. Generally, it's between 20 and 40%. That can be negotiated up and down depending on the services provided. A lot of auctioneers will pick up at your address. They'll save you some moving money. The next thing to do, you can offer it to an estate company. This estate company is gonna go through the estate and they're gonna hold a giant estate sale. It may bring 5,000, it may bring 20,000, depending on what you have inside, how much the family took. They may sell your vehicles for you. An estate company will do consignment. They'll sell on the property, they'll sell on your behalf. You'll likely get a decent amount of cash and check. And this is the route that many people take. It's a good route. The other route is if you call someone like me. An estate buyer like me comes in, writes one single check, takes everything away in a week or two, and your work is done. That is a very attractive move to a lot of people. Because here in New York, they sell the house for 500 or 800,000. They don't particularly care. Once the family has taken what they want, they don't care about the 20,000 here, the 40,000 that may be laying there. They want a check for 10 grand. They want to be out of closing and they want to be on with their lives, headed back to California, Canada, or wherever they are residing. The last move we have is yard sale. If you want and feel that you have some experience reselling and you want to run the sale yourself, you can hold a yard sale. I have a video in my YouTube on how to host a yard sale. It's a lot of work. The cash is great, but no doubt this is a solid way to get rid of stuff. The very last way to do this is to donate. There are a lot of people that will donate the personal possessions down here to Goodwill, to charitable organizations, to a number of causes, and you can find those online. And it's a good resource to make sure that this stuff goes to a good cause. You may have to pay estate tax when this happens. A lot of people donate this stuff down here to get a tax write-off. Again, this is not financial advice. This is for someone if they have no idea what to do with an estate they've just inherited. When it comes to financials, consult your accountant or an estate planner. When it comes to prices, consult a professional third-party appraiser. And when it comes to legality, you got to talk to the lawyers. When it comes to the real estate, you're going to go through your realtor. When it comes to the cars, refer to the appraiser. This is my best advice for someone who's inherited an estate and they don't know what to do with it, or they've never sold anything at all. If you would like consultation about your estate privately, you can email me at markmeyerhere@gmail.com and we can talk privately on the phone and I can kind of coach you through some of these. I hope today's video is super helpful. If you ever receive an estate, it's a lot of work, so I really hope that this helped you along your way. I want you to put questions down below. I'm committed to responding to all of them, and I'm here to be supportive. We have more videos like this coming out on secondhand items, estates, auctions, and a business that I've sold millions of dollars worth of products in. Thanks for watching today's video. We have more videos like this on my channel. You should really check it out. And for that, it's a wrap. Sell it, yes sir, sell it.
Sell it.